Yes. Good night, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Let me welcome you to this another episode of the Saudichress Show. And of course, tonight, people, you know what you're looking for, you know who you are looking for. And tonight in studio, we have our special guest. But before I do so, let me big up my co-host Rankin for the good work he has been doing. I must apologize for my absence last night on the show, but such is life, and we are to continue. So bless up to everyone, and those in the chat continue to send your messages. Make sure you ask your questions, we will deliver them, and of course, I'm sure the guests will see them as well. So, Rankin, how are you
Yes,
doing?
sir.
Khaleesi, good night,
Yeah,
good
man.
night.
Blessings,
Good
family.
night.
Blessings.
All
Good
right,
night. Good night.
people, we have an show right now. The star of the schoolboy football competition, not a player, but as a coach, a man who needs no introduction to Jamaica or to the football world, I would say. Vassel Reynolds, aka Bossy. Good night and welcome, Vassel. Welcome to the Saudichress Show once again.
Yeah, man. Good night and good night to Ranking. Who is this? Khaleesi?
Yeah.
I don't know if I pronounce your name correctly. And all your viewers and listeners, man. Good night, good night.
Yeah, man. Blessed. Vassel, in the chat, let me big up Nigel Stewart, aka Lenky. He was early out. Yeah, I
Yeah,
know why I
man.
come for the show, inside win today.
Yeah, man. Him happy, man. Him jump out of the gate fast.
Yes, well, man, ready for you go take on man new star, man new troubles. Yeah, man. All right, so yes, as we said, and we have joining us now, um, Damian Shuko Kelly, a man with a lot of argument as it relates to football. Michael Jack, congratulations, Mr. Reynolds, and your team. Andrew Thorpe say 40s up. Well, I mean, this 40s thing tonight, of your management. I'm glad you're not coming out and part another color day tonight, Pastor Car. I don't know if you can really manage tonight.
So I never
Yeah.
put on the put up the purple behind me, sir.
Good
I
night,
wonder why.
gentlemen.
Yeah, man, night Chuko. But
Coach,
Yeah, man. Shoko, where are you?
congratulations, coach.
Yeah, man. Respect, man. Respect.
And I was confident that you would have done it.
Yeah, man.
Oh,
You told me, man, during the journey,
yeah,
Chuko,
man.
Chuko,
Yes, sir.
we don't start the show yet, So I don't want you to come
Okay.
and keep a chat.
Okay. Me never know the show not start yet.
But
Shook
anyway,
ready to take on the coach already started.
coach,
No, man. No.
coach,
I want
let
people
me,
to the coach for the coach taking your off of the ball and I make him man in school yet win up on me. I triple crown me the want, you know.
coach,
1 second.
for all the phone calls you'll take in 2025, don't take none from Chuko years. I tell you from now.
I'm here one of the few money back case, you know. Even the money we go case, never back case, you know.
I tell you. Anyway, let us kick it off. Coach, as I said, no secret, you have won three of the schoolboy football competition this year. One that many persons are not looking towards, they don't recognize as much because it is a youth football. So you have one under 14, you have won the Manning Cup, and you have won the Oliver Shield this year. I don't know if everybody knows Vassel Reynolds, but in short, coach, give us a little about Vassel Reynolds. Talk to us. Let us know where Vassel Reynolds is coming from. How you start your, should I say, your job. I want to call it job. We can't say your trade anymore, because this is a job.
All right. So originated in Sangsazai, Chapelton. Attended Chapelton All Age. We also have two shifts at Chapelton All Age. One the afternoon shift you get break at 10 minutes after 3. And it was at that stage at Chapelton All Age when you get break at 10 minutes after 3, and once Clarendon College have a match. Me hide from school, coming and go back to school after break time. Go and jump fence and go and watch Dacosta Cup, Lenny Hyde and them, and they play.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, man. So from then I thought, and people thought, that the destiny is football, either as a player or as a coach. And then I would have gone to Clarendon College and
One college, man.
and played a couple of years Dacosta Cup up to Dacosta Cup level there. But in between that time and Michael and college, clearly it was clear in my mind and other people's mind that coaching is my destiny. And then when I left college, one Courtney Jackson, you know him, Sadi. One Courtney Jackson would have brought me. Well, he used to coach me at the club level at Sangster's Heights. He brought me under his wings at Edwin Allen.
Edwin Allen.
That's where it started, really. That's where it started. That's where I started to learn my craft. Every time I talk to some people, I would have mentioned that it all started with Courtney Jackson. And then I properly, from there to other schools, parish levels. But the last 3 sojourn, I would say, I spent over a decade at Woolmer's Boys. And
one big coach.
A lot of coaching before then, but I'm just, I spent over a decade at Woolmer's and coach at both under 14, under 16, and Manning Cup level. I would have been successful at all levels, under 14, under 16, and the Manning Cup. And then everybody would know by now that I left and I spent 2 years at Rossi's High. One day, the Dacosta Cup in the first season there.
You broke my heart.
I spent 2 years at Manchester High School, took a break in 2022, and then in 2023 to present, I end up on the famous right side of North Street, which is the purple side. but before that, man, I would have learned a lot from Jacko, as I said, and from John Green, because I used to be involved in the Clarendon youth programs. Was possibly one of the best youth programs in the island. Only Kasaf could better Clarendon back then. John Green and Light Plummer. I would have learned the craft there also. And I've done a lot of club coaching also. Major League in Clarendon, Premier League, Sporting Central Academy. People would not know that Umberline, when they were seeking to reach Premier League, I was one of the coach there. So it's a long time, the association with Umberline. I would have also, after playing for Los Perfectos, I coached them to the Confed Championship for 2 years straight. So it's a whole lot of coaching, Sadi, from way back when until present.
Coach, I tell you, I knew you from a long time, and I don't even remember so many of these places that you have applied your trade. And I say apply your trade because, it has been said here in Jamaica that Vassel Reynolds now is the most traveled coach behind Jeff Maxwell. What really inspired you to travel that much, coach?
I'll answer that question this way. If I have to travel tomorrow, I'll travel. I'll travel again. Because look here, I did not know that by traveling it would have ended up this way. But this way meaning by traveling to different schools and maybe a couple of clubs, I think it would have done wonders for me. It would have benefited me. I would have learned how to navigate myself under different circumstances and environment. I would have learned from a lot of people in different territories. Because you know that a lot of persons within their own environment, the approach is kind of different, and the way they look at the football sometimes is kind of different from another territory within your own country, that is. So for me, if I'm moving from one place to another, not as many as you say, Sadi, but I think it would have benefited me in terms of teaching me to deal with various environments. And I think that is one of the things that has even benefited me by being at Kingston College, one of the most, difficult environment to work,
What makes it so difficult to work at Kingston College?
The expectation, man. Kingston College, has a philosophy, whether it's jacks, domino, football, or cricket, that they are better than the rest. And once you hit the pitch, it's just winning. They just feel that there has to be this winning mentality that whosoever you meet up on the pitch or wherever, the Kingston College spirit must prevail and you must tackle anybody in front of you. That's the kind of, and I told people that I have a little bit of that in me, because my thing is always to develop and to create a winning mentality and to create that always creating that positive impact wherever I go. So my philosophy is kind of similar to theirs, but boy, the expectation, man, it's a different thing, man. The expectation to win and the will to win is a different pressure by itself.
All right, last one before I allow the rest of the panelists to go, Coach. How did you reach to Kingston College? How did the journey start, or how the intent came about to Kingston College?
When I left Clarendon College at age 18, I went to college. I think I had another year, yes. And then one Dave Murray that came to Clarendon College to coach a team. I mean, my mother used to work at Clarendon College and took care of. She used to work in the canteen, so she had to prepare meals for the teachers and coaches that lived down. And it's from then I met Mr. Murray. So I used to left college every weekend and go down to Clarendon College and just go on fool around coaching, helping out Mr. Murray or whatever. So we developed a relationship until one day I went to Kingston. I think I was teaching at Veer and coaching at Veer Tech. And I went to Kingston and I heard that Mr. Murray was the principal at Woolman's. So I just stopped by because I haven't seen this man for a number of years. And I stopped by, and the moment I stepped in Mr. Murray's office, Mr. Murray said, "Vassel, where are you working now?" And I told him, and he said, "Listen, pack up and come tomorrow." The rest is history. I left, and I left there and I went to Woolman's. I spent 13 years at Woolman's. Mr. Murray had left before I left Woolman's. He had left and gone to other places, and then ended up at KC. And immediately when he ended up at KC, I was supposed to go to KC long before now, because when he went to KC, after a number of years, I was encouraged to join him down by Kingston College. But as them said, nothing never happened before the time. So it's really Mr. Murray's, the relationship with Mr. Self and Mr. Murray that has continued and would have led me to Kingston College. So when the vacancy becomes when the job becomes vacant, some people told me about it, and I said, no, not KC. And months into the advertisement, when I heard that, they would have been interviewing coaches and whatever, Mr. Murray kept calling me, and I decided that, boy, I'm not a whole strain, I don't think I'm about KC. But having that level of respect for the man who would have brought me to Kingston and would have helped develop my career both as a teacher and as a coach, and he gave me that opportunity at Woolman's, I decided to just send in a thing. And I sent in an application, and within 24 hours, that's it. I was called to an interview, and that's it.
Oh, wonderful. Before you go, people, please, man, like up the show. Who we have on set? Don't tell me that you don't like what you're hearing or what you will hear. Like up the channel, man. Give us some likes as we go along. Right now, straight up. Ranking, your time to bowl, sir.
Yeah, man. Vassel, big up yourself, my boss.
Yeah, man, Ranking. Respect, man.
From the start of the season, we had expectations, and I must say when the season started out, I think you started out. I want to say a little bit slow. I think you drew the first game, right? To Penwood.
Yes.
Yeah, man, you drew the first game, and I was watching a couple of the games, and I see some players being rested. I'm hearing it's different kind of reasons, and I just never liked the whole feeling around KC at the time. And I think you tuned in one night, when me and Saudi was having a conversation, and I said to Saudi, boy, we have to start pressure Vassel, because the expectation that we have of you, we're not seeing those performances. And I think from that day, I think you went on to be champion, and I started to see some big performances going forward. So my first question to you now, coach, what would be your biggest challenges throughout the season so far?
Boy, Rankin, you hit the nail on the head, man. I mean, but let me tell you something, Rankin. I think I would have told Sadi this. This is the first time in my coaching career, from day one when I met the team before we start training, I told the team that, look, my one and only goal is to win the Manning Cup. I think it's the first time I would have established that to my team from day one. I was that confident. So based on how I charted the program, fitness-wise, technical-wise, I prepared the team to start play its best football somewhere during mid-October. Because I've always said it, you can't win Manning Cup in September, but you can lose it in September. So I would have geared the team to go long in the competition in December. So I knew in a way that the start would just do enough to start points to qualify us from the preliminary round. But when you draw that match against Penwood, even me, I mean, I was shocked. I mean, but then I didn't panic, because if one would watch the match, they would realize that even though we didn't play our best game, we got a number of chances and could have easily won the game by 7-3 because they had scored 3. But the old boys panic, the KC community panic, and I had to say to them in our meeting 2 days after, look, man, we have no reason to panic. A game that we should have won and expected to have won, we drew it. That's behind us. And so from we hit the second round, last few games, we step up the pace in terms of preparation for the second round. And if you know, that's just before we met Campion, because Campion to me was our stiffest competition in the group at the end. I mean, the other teams would, now and then, try the little thing, whatever. But we saw that first game against Campion as time for us to now start prepare to take off for the second round. And that's exactly what happened. We had a good game against Campion, and then the performance never fall below a certain standard after that. Some inconsistent performance, but it never dropped below a certain standard, and we just continue to improve as we go to the second round and the quarterfinals. And we would have done very well in crucial games. Yeah.
All right. My next question, because a lot of people were very surprised for this specific game. The game that you played against JC. I must say, coach, I think you were second best in almost everything in that game. Were you surprised at the performance? Were you shocked that JC took the game to you that way, or it's just one of those days? Because I think that that performance, I want to say that a lot of person kind of write off KC and start put JC as the favorite. What do you think about that game?
I deep down felt that JC would have been one of the teams to beat. I mean, people who I spoke to, I did mention Mona, JC, Idle, and Stats. I thought those were the teams to beat. But like we did for every team, whether it's listen to me, when we were going to play penalty number, I drove my vehicle to Kling Oval to scout penalty number. Sorry, I'm telling this man, it matters not the level of the team or the standard. Me a driver and Montego Bay go watch you. So I scouted every single team that I come across. So we scouted JC, and believe you me, almost 90% of the things that we plan or expected of JC, they flip the coin and do the opposite. To the extent, I tell you this, and I've never, I'm going to say this in the public for the first time. To the extent that we felt that when we were doing the planning for JC match, somebody in the room leaked the information. No, listen, Rankin, we have a little bit of proof, but we just leave it there. Yeah, man. But so we were a little bit surprised. Yeah, man. We were a little bit surprised of some of the things that they did. But then again, it was our poorest game, especially the first half. And
Coach, I can't interrupt you for 1 second.
We just never get going. And if you remember the game well enough in the ranking, we
finish the point.
We can't see the first goal, we got an easy chance. And if we had scored that, maybe it would have helped us to propel us into our normal game. But as I said before, JC came out firing, and we were very flat, and they took advantage and just killed we off on the first half. Second half, a little bit better, but it's one of them things that I would have hoped that we meet back JC to see to what extent, based on how we evaluate that game, what really happened, but we just never meet them again. But I just saw.
Yeah, coach.
Super, you want to say something?
Yeah, coach.
Yeah, man.
I respect the way you're just honest and raw with that opinion and put it out in the public. But I just hope that you would elaborate a bit more, because a lot of people that in the chat probably don't know the rivalry and the history right now surrounding the JC and the KC thing, with coaches moving over to the other side of the fence, taking players with them as well. Probably you should give us a little rundown on that, as to why information could have been passed along the other side, because a lot of people are close in both camps, right?
Yeah, man. I mean, we know that the assistant coach at JC presently was at KC he's a KC old boy. He was there for a good while. And so, I mean, inevitable people on the ground know people and are friends with people or whatever, which is not an issue. But I tell you, Shuku, man, we because after every match, we assess and we evaluate and we look back and I tell you, man.
I know you don't leave anything to chance, because I was taken aback by that result, because
as I said in Shuku, it was our poorest game. We didn't deserve to win the game. I mean, JC came out playing very well, and we didn't have a good game. So I have to give them kudos. I'm not going to say we'll lose the match because we felt that some information gone the other way. I'm not going to say that, but we just felt that. And as I said before, when we assess things, we just feel that when we were planning, some information, would have gone to the wrong ears, and that would have contributed to some of the things that we saw them came within that game. We just felt that way. But again, we lost, and we were beat by a better team on the day, to be honest.
Because in most of those games, New Year they handbrake on,
Yeah.
I knew that you had the handbrake on,
Yeah, man.
Big up, coach. I wait my turn.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
What are the ranking? Shuku, me not understand. What do you mean you wait your turn?
I just interject to just ask him to elaborate more on the point. Are you going to say that was my turn?
But you
all I did was just ask him to elaborate more, and I didn't ask him a question,
No, listen. I'm gonna ask you, Shuku. You say anytime you rebut, anytime you jump in, you better take your turn,
Yes, Carlos, just take your turn and done.
Yeah, so ranking, if you finish a Shuku next year, sir, go ahead.
All right, no problem. I have one last question me have still, because I was at this game in a battle. Me actually did give a heel before the
I remember.
Yeah, man. Me and MG spoke here after the game, and he said it was one of the best executed game plans. Before that game, a lot of people, had Glenmere as a favorite to probably win everything in schoolboy football. And we know the type of coach you are. You have a game plan for everything. As I say, you scout the teams and all of that. What was the preparation like going into that Glenmere game? Because I see in the last part of the game, you were getting ready to put on your goalkeeper and all of that. So it's like the plan of work and everything good, Vassel. So tell me about that game, Vassel.
Listen, my man. There's no secret, and a lot of I know Sadi would know that.
Oh, sorry. Before you start, Vassel, I must say I saw you after the game as well. You and Coach Pierre having a talk for about 5 to 10 minutes.
No man, and that's where that's how I'm going to start my response to say.
Yeah.
For 2 years now, Coach Pierre and I, we have been working very close at the national level, coaching education program. So we would have developed that closely knit relationship where, listen, man, we coach each other on a daily basis. We coach each other. So when there's a situation, I will bring it to him, and when there's a situation that comes up, he will bring it to me. So if you watch both teams closely, from last year, can you remember? Last year we met in the Champions Cup, yeah, and it drew. We met in Gibson Cup, it draw. It was always close between both of us. So because of how we prepare our teams, very similar style, very similar system, very similar tactics. Because as I said, we coach each other. That is how close we are. So when we were drawn to play Glenmuir, some people were saying, "Boy, man, coach, we should have Saudichress we get." That's what the KC community were saying. And I said to them, look, on paper, it may be seen as easier to play Saudichress, but I prefer to play Glenmuir. So they asked me why. I said at least I know what to plan for when I play Glenmuir, because I knew nothing about Saudichress then. And I tell you something, man. Up to the morning, because this is something that I want to share with the public, that I would have brought on something new to my coaching this year, where the morning of a match, I do some training, you know. The morning of a match, depending on what time the match is, the morning of a match, I will do some light training. So up to the morning of the match, we do some tactical stuff, but one of the main things we were focusing on a penalty, because we're almost certain that it may have gone there, to be honest, because we felt that it was going to be that close.
1 second away.
Right in the ranking when they said I took my eye off the game, because my back was turned to the game, preparing the goalkeeper, which we had planned to put on, because we know he's better at saving penalties than our number one keeper. And it was when I hear the noise and whatever, and I turn on, and by the time I turn on, is a guy at the back post, a tap in, you know. So, yeah, man, the preparation was mostly tactical and planning on the board and walking through up to the morning of that game, man. Possibly the most time would have spent planning for a game, and possibly the best I've seen the team execute based on plan for the entire season, that game.
All right. One last quick question before I go, coach. It just came to me. Do you think that winning the Triple Crown, like including the Champions Cup, is it, because I heard coaches come on before and they're like their main focus is the Manning Cup and Dacosta Cup, which we expect. But do you think a lot of coaches focus on winning everything, like if they have the squad, or do they center their focus on the big one? And just like if the Champions Cup come in, then it's just a bonus. How do you look at it yourself?
Very good question. I mean, you always want to win the Dacosta Cup or the Manning Cup. There's no two way about it.
Right.
But clearly, the next cup is the Champions Cup, and it's a big one also. So you want to make sure you got all of them in case you fall short. You understand? At least Glenmuir can boost now, so them win the Champions Cup and they never fall short of not winning a cup. But a few, when the draw was made, you know, the Kingston College manager posed a question to me. I mean, how am I going to approach that game if I'm approaching it seriously? And I said, yes. I mean, the quarterfinals and the semifinals and the finals comes, well, the quarterfinals and the semifinals comes before the Manning Cup semifinals. So I say to them, look, let's approach the quarterfinals very serious, and then we'll assess afterwards how we approach the semifinals once we win the quarterfinals. But I think based on what happened this year, some coach may want to change the approach, because if you notice, you know, all the teams that would have gone far into the Champions Cup, them drop out of the, what you call it now, the semi-finals of the quote unquote the major ones, the Dacosta Cup and the Manning Cup, if you notice. And especially if your team is, what you call it now, short in terms of depth. I figure that that's what affected Saudichress mostly because they were very. I mean, I realized that there wasn't much depth when it comes to their entire squad, and if you want to think, it seemed as if it affected Glenmuir also because when I was watching the Dacosta Cup finals, when there were moments when Glenmuir needed to change gear, and it just never happened. So coaches may take a different approach in the future, but I think this year that just finished, most coaches wanted to have won the triple.
Definitely. Coach, respect for your responses, man.
We felt going a ranking that when we got beaten by Glenmuir, when we assessed, we felt that maybe it was one of the best things happened to us because it's not like Glenmuir they blow away and we beat you up 3-4 and we never perform well enough. We played possibly our best game up to that. That was possibly our best game. So we felt that we wanted to use that performance to propel us going into the semifinals of the Manning Cup. So we said to ourselves then that maybe it was a blessing in disguise, and it seemed as if it proved to be.
Yeah, man. All right, coach. Respect. May I give Shuko a chance? Me circle back. Yeah.
All right. Good night again, coach.
Yeah, man.
Humility is a good thing, you know, but I think you're being very modest because it's going to tie in with one of my questions that I want to ask you. But going up against that Glenmuir team with such quality individuals, how many under Jamaica under 20 and under 17 youths were in that Glenmuir?
When we check it, man, Glenmuir possessed at least 8 national players between U17 and U20.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. And for you to be able to match up with with that team, with your KC team, it says a lot about your coaching, and that's why I consider you the best tactical coach in the schoolboy football. Yeah, and it goes with my first question. Do you pride yourself as being known as a tactical coach?
Yes. I pride myself of going to scout a team, write down what I need to do in terms of approach, prepare the team accordingly, and in most cases it work out. And I would have done this for years. In most cases it work out. I mean, not all the time you will scout and plan, and you win, Not all the time. Nothing is guaranteed. But for me to have done it within myself, for me to have done it so many times, I pride myself of I would say a good planner. Yeah.
You know, coach, sometimes do you think that a team is a reflection of their coach? It's as if the team take on the personality of the coach. Do you believe in that?
Yes, man.
You see examples of that?
Yes, man. I can give examples. I strive for perfection, man, when I'm coaching. So my players sometimes they seem as if sometimes they must succumb to the pressure of what I expect of them. Yeah. So the errors have to be minimal, or else them come under pressure. And they have to learn through that, they have to understand that, because I strive to get the players to be as perfect as is possible. So when you execute and the errors are many, you have to work on that rate of error being made and reduce it, or it's going to come under pressure. Because for me, my approach has always been to maximize the players' potential, So for me, I don't look at names on paper when I coaching team, I look within my players and the team and say, hey, listen me, man, you can give me a lot. Forget about name. You can give. So if you notice, because of that, most of the teams that I would have been successful with, was never a favorite or a big name team,
Yeah.
But it's for you as a coach to find a way to convince the players that, look here, man, name X, but you can perform like X if you work hard,
Yeah, because most of the time you're going as underdog. I remember when you won
Yes.
that title against Clarendon, you
Oh
were
God.
considered a favorite for that
That,
game.
man, if I tell you what I planned to do that semi-finals and that Dacosta Cup, man, it was, and it has proven to me that observation, scouting, planning, and practice is the key, man. If I tell you some of the things that we did, man, leading into those 2 games, the semi against States and the finals against Skyland College, man, trust me.
Yes, that's why I think your personality fit this team, KC team, like a gloves. And the motto, they never say die attitude, and it just reflects on you as a coach. And I think if you remain at KC there, you will win a lot of titles because they have the resources, they have the history, and once they keep backing you, I think you will deliver. So I think you probably find your spiritual home in your neck kind of the schoolboy thing right now.
Shuko, the important word in that statement a while ago, is if. Because I see Sadi put the hand over and lip and say, if I remain that.
Well,
Don't matter with that.
as long as they don't go against anything that you believe in, a certain policy that you hold sacred to you, I think the union will continue because not a lot of schools can match KC for resources, and if they're doing everything that make you happy, I think you would stay because at least you will have that chain behind you. You understand?
Yeah.
KC is a powerful organization. You understand?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I said that it fit you.
Yeah.
KC fit you. All right. Next question. Which one of your schoolboy titles, when you sit back and reminisce, which one you would have considered your greatest achievement out of all of them?
Shuko, why?
bear in
And
mind
that
that
a question I'm asking,
yeah,
man.
ranking asks a lot of mine as well. That's why everybody has to
God,
wait them turn.
God.
Which one you considered? You know, when you say your greatest achievement based on challenges and all of that.
Listen,
Because I love that women's team that you won the Champions Cup with, you know. Remember that big boy, the another team, then I mean, the love that them from them time me support
yes,
you.
man, yes, man. Again, Chuko, that championship. I mean, remember, you know, it was Carnival, a mash up the place with Vassel and with the other guy named, man.
Fletcher.
Yeah, man. It was a given that
Big
Carnival
side, man. Big side.
it was a given that Carnival was going to blow Wolmer's away, just blow away. But to have gone to Rossies and win a Dacosta Cup the first year has to be special. Has to be special. But I tell people this. Even today I was telling some people. I have never in my years of coaching commit myself and work so hard and withstand some challenges like this season here at Kingston College. And with the whole pressure and the expectation, trust me, I've never put out this effort in preparing a team for a competition. And because of that, I would have to say to have won the Manning Cup, and not just the Manning Cup, but follow it up with the Olivier Shield. This has to be the most special one.
Okay, you've answered that question. Coach, I listen very keenly when you speak, you know, and I noticed what you said, you know, after the Penwood game, there was a meeting.
Yes,
and that
man.
would have been a serious meeting.
A serious meeting, man.
Where you had to reassure them.
Yes.
And it speaks to the level of coach that you are, because I notice even players in your team, you don't let them get ahead
came
of
out of that meeting after 10 in the night, you know. Yeah.
Reassuring and keeping the calm.
Reassuring and say, guys, look, I have not. The key question that was posed to me that night, Coach, do you still believe in the journey? And I said, look here, I have no reason not to. Yeah, man, that was a key question that night.
They were even questioning your belief.
Yes, man.
All right, last one I wrap up with you now, Coach. All right, because I was listening to you again. I think we had this conversation privately, but you brought it up on the show. So I want to ask you now, what happened in the past to prompt you to add that pre-game training to your program? Like you said, you were practicing even before the big game and you were doing penalties and all of that. You think that gave you an edge against your opponents? Because a lot of people, you know, because speaking from experience, I've been around programs where people, even the fans, would cuss out the coach if they've ever seen them doing anything type of physical training before a game. They're saying, oh, you're putting in too much work on this stage of the competition. It should be just about mental preparation and all of that. So to hear you and hear now saying that you did a session before a serious game, it's kind of eye opener. So just elaborate more on that. What prompted you?
Chuko, let me tell you. Every year I try to be a better coach. You know. How do I become a better coach? I listen, I observe, I watch, I do some research, and I read. And one of the things that I would have learned by doing some research is that some of the top teams and coaches, they would have done some activation the morning of a game. The Pep Guardiola and some other coaches, and I say, wait, hold on. Maybe something that I need to try. So I tried it a couple of times. I tried it maybe leading into about 3 or 4 games, including that Glenmere game. The other thing is that, Chuko, is that as part of my planning, every Sunday night, the entire coaching fraternity and management fraternity at Kingston College knows what the week schedule is like for under 14, for under 16, for Manning Cup. What time and fundamentally what them are do Tuesday, why Manning Cup are do Thursday, when them are go gym, blah, blah, blah. So that established. And that is part of my organization as a coach. Very detailed. Also, one of the things that I would have instituted, Chuko, is that almost every training session, before every training session, technically, we have a technical meeting for about 20 minutes. So we'll go on the board and show them, say, hey, the session will be about this. This is what we are trying to achieve. What you think? This is what we expect you to do, blah, blah, blah. So the players, before them enter the pitch, have a fundamental idea in the back of their heads. All right, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, and we're going to do that. So me think those things would have helped us be successful this year. Finally, one of the things that I would have brought to the table also, every technical session we did finishing this season. I've never done it before in all my coaching career. Every technical session we do finishing. You know how many goals KC scored this year?
How many goals?
90. The most goals KC has ever scored in the history of the Manning Cup.
That's a big achievement, coach.
Yes, man. Yes, man.
I seem like you're moving with the time.
You always try to take the thing to our next level every year. And I don't know what will happen next year, but I come in with other additions next season, you know?
All right, coach. I will give some others some chance and come back at
maybe it will be at that environment across the bridge, we don't know.
Coach, don't make we have a review for the show or close you were to joining us. And I don't want to go back down that painful road. You escape. I don't want to walk more back those old wounds. So don't even go there.
Yes, your man posted the 92 goals. Yeah.
All
Yes,
right.
next person.
Before I move on to the next person, let me just take 2 from the chat. So Jeremy Russian is asking, Coach, how much player KC going to have back next year?
All right. So one of the things that I set out to do at Kingston College, and I told them in the press conference that the mandate I give myself, KC must always be in the reckoning at all levels of football every single year. So the program must set in and structured in such a way that we don't fall off for 3 years and just a rebuild. We must constantly have a team under 14, under 16 and Manning Cup that will always knock on the door. So because of that, you find a lot of under 14 boys that play under 16, a lot of under 16 boys that play Manning Cup. We introduce them from early. So, and that is what happened from last year. We introduced 12 under 15 players within the squad. Because we knew that we were going to lose. People who do not know, we lost 5 key starters from last year's team. But because we had introduced so many of them from last year, those players, having had the 1 year experience there, then come back this year and some of those very same guys played this season as if them come in with 3 years experience. So next year again is a similar situation. We should lose maybe about 5 of our main starters, but the program continues in terms of the transition.
We'll keep turning.
Yeah. And again, this year we would have introduced 5 or 6 of the under 16 players that, if you notice the Oliver Shield, you know, I finished the Oliver Shield game with 5, 15 and 14 year olds on the field, you know. 1 14 and 4 15 year olds on the field, you know. Yes, man.
Wow, wonderful. Next one, coach, before you jump. Was this the one I wanted to ask? Hold on, people. Oh, this was one first. What will the KC squad look like for the centenary here? And that's coming from Dr. Scar. Yes.
well, as I said before, we should lose some key players. Possibly about 5 or 6 of our main players. But yeah, the future is in good stead. We should lose 5 or 6 of our main players. We always have a squad of 25, 27 players. So within that squad, main players are about 5 or 6. So, you know, what I always do is to create that spreadsheet to see, apart from the players that will be making the transition from the younger group, do we need to filter in and strengthen our defense, or do we need to filter in and strengthen the goalkeeper, etc., etc. But one of the things that I started to create at Kingston College is to reach a stage where the reliance on recruitment at the top is not at a high level. So I've turned it around now and relying on recruiting from primary and prep school from early out, so we can build the fuse from there.
Okay. Let me take 2 more before we go back to the panel. College man, what results against what team, or maybe which, but what team this season meant the most to you?
Clearly the finals. Clearly the finals. You can't rule out that. I mean, that was a big one. Not just the fact that it was a final, but against a St. Catherine team that, I mean, many people thought from the beginning of the competition that had a good chance of winning, because that's a very mature St. Catherine team. Most of those players would have been playing club football. But I think the game against Mona, that we needed at least a draw to have qualified for the semifinals, was a tense. It was a tense game. I know Mona's always going to come with a lot of hype, with a lot of stuff, and you know, we navigate and came up trumps, and to have left that match and to beat at Tivoli 5-0, it was during that same phase. During that phase, we figured that look, we were on the right track.
Okay, all right. So coming from Christopher, right? Best of yourself, you know, Christopher, the great Tutu, one of Lost Pea's strong players alongside Barry. So Bargery, Oily Black, Sausage and Company. Big up from the new green team that took over from you guys. All right. Steph Curry, Coach Reynolds, we need you back at Rossi's. Sherman Scott, one Dan, Clarendon, big up coach. One Dan, big up Sadi, bless up yourself, Sherman. All right, so let's go back to our panelists. Thank you, people from the chat. Continue to pour in your questions or your suggestions. We'll get them to Coach Vassel. All right, Rankin, who do we have next? Peter?
Yeah.
Peter. No, Khaleesi and then Peter.
I wanted to save Khaleesi for last, but go on. You run things. Khaleesi, go ahead. No, I didn't take no more of your question.
Boy, right now, me there, I think we should ask.
Khaleesi, I try formulate some new questions.
Yeah.
You have to go before you, Khaleesi.
Eh?
You have to go before you, that you can go and consider.
Me I go now. All right, so congratulations. We always have you as, you know, that top coach there. We don't know if you remember, was it 2021 when you and Maran was sitting over Glenmere when CC and Iduna didn't play?
Oh, yeah, man. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it's behind, you know. So, you know, from that time, I mean, we didn't know you find you beat me 2017, but finally time we start watching closely. I mean, I say, Vassel is such a good coach. Me really don't want him come and pass school. So yes,
This
about
is your
that.
school?
CC.
Oh.
So yeah, come.
How are you planning to do it, Lenny?
No, but Lenny not gonna do that forever. So when Lenny decides saying I'm gonna leave, we have a next good coach forward for. Yeah.
Khaleesi can match KC money.
Really?
Listen, it's not all about money. It's
True,
where
true.
your heart is at Clarendon
Yeah.
College.
True.
You understand? But yeah,
Can you see? I must caution you here. All of
Why?
those questions answer, you need to go through Saudi before you can get a good answer. But anyway, continue.
Hear it?
Hey,
Agent P have to be
chat,
discussed.
Sally. Look in our chat, Sally. Look in our chat.
Mr. man.
Yes, in the Manning Cup final,
Yes.
what St. Catherine did, were you expecting that, or were you expecting like a better game from them, or you feel like your game plan make them couldn't like execute as they planned?
Yeah, man. Good question. I scored St. Catherine 3 times. 3 times because, listen, I always look at the roadmap, and the possibilities, So if there's a possibility from the quarterfinals that I may meet you in the semi or the finals, may I scout you. So I scored St. Catherine 3 times, and my conclusion or our conclusion was that they never really necessarily change the way they play. Never.
Okay.
Same formation, same system, rely on the wingers and the striker and somebody, and of course, 2 players that plays on that team would have spent some years at Kingston College. So, so we knew what they would bring, and I also, by the way, I also scout the coach too, when I'm playing.
Okay.
I try to get a good understanding of what the coach brings to the table. Patrick will really, like Lenny, will really comes with something different and change up. Patrick will come with what he has, and Patrick felt that he had the team for us play you off the park. So it doesn't change. And I realize also that it's almost the same 11 for a good little while. So my planning was around that, but I think to a large extent they didn't perform better than they did because of our plan, and we did stifle them. And work on their strength and minimize it,
Okay.
Yeah.
So, which of your players would you say has been the best player for this season?
I'll tell you something, and I will say this. KC has not played their best game and the season finished.
Oh.
Maybe, and a number of factors caused it. I mean, ranking raised some issues before, Super raised some issues before, but Saudi would know this, I'm a very stickler when it comes to stickler of discipline, When you work in a certain environment, though, you have to walk through the raindrops and tilt one way and whatever. Because there is politics in football and there is culture and there is whatever. So as a coach, you have to understand all these things. And at times, as a coach, I tell some coach, sometimes you don't want to cut your face to spoil your nose. I cut your nose to spoil your face. Neither. But at all times, I always want to uphold and make a youth know, say, listen, I not just prepare you for play for Kingston College, I prepare you for play for one college or one club overseas. And I have to try inculcate the right habits in you. So there's various factors. We have never, Kalisa, we have never up to the Olivier Shield, we have never gotten a chance to play what I consider as my best 11. Never. It was always some lack of commitment, poor performance, injuries, or something.
Yeah,
I mean, when after the Manning Cup finals, my number one striker, Demario Daly, fly out. So no Oliver Shield. The morning after Oliver Shield, one of my most reliable player, Kimani Reese, the captain.
The captain.
We got a report the morning of the match that the advice is not to play him because of medical reasons. And I was just calm. So, and I said to the team when I was having the team talk, look here, from day one, this is what I would have been facing us. So it was nothing new because every week something come up, something, and we have to reshuffle. But I prepared the team accordingly. So the adjustment I made for the Oliver Shield, nobody surprises. So yeah, man. So it's that kind of season,
All right. So my final question is: would you agree that the Olivier Shield represents the best team in the country?
I agree. The thing about it is that the Oliver Shield has lost a little bit of his sheen because of the Champions Cup.
Okay.
But back in the days, and even now, listen, me see the Oliver Shield as the creme de la creme where you win the major title, and for you to win the Oliver Shield is just the cream of the crop. Just to top it off to say, yes, winning the title wasn't a fluke. Oliver Shield, you are the best. So for me, the Oliver Shield are the best team in the island.
So would you say a team that has not won the Olivier Shield, would you consider them as being the best team over a team that has won the Olivier Shield?
No, not by performance.
Thank you very much, Coach.
Not by performance. Right now,
that Ronaldo.
Yeah. Right now,
but by saying not by performance, it could mean that they have better quality, but performance-wise, on the day, the team that won the Oliver Shield.
No. That's
what the coach is saying.
No, but what I know, just wait, no, Shuku. My thing is, there is no way you can a team when we can come and say, all right, X team is the best team when Y has won the Olivier Shield, which means you're the best team in the country. That is my issue,
Vassel.
Yes.
Sir Vassel, this question is a big debate on the show, and she wants to use your answer to be the final answer to decide debate. But you answered it in a perfect way where you put balance to the argument. You understand? Because in a one-off game, the best team,
Shuku, stop, please. Hold on. Now go ask your people, go through the whole see that through me are ranking. No bother with the crosscut. Shuku, me I go allow you to allow Kalise to finish our questions to Vassel, and then if you want to, but you can. But not before she completes. All right? We don't want to debate right now. Our coach we attack to, and we just want to keep it like that. All right? Bless you.
Fair enough. Sorry about that.
Yeah, man. Good. Kalisi, continue.
Okay, so my last question to you, Coach, is that for the 2024 schoolboy football season, which team would you say is the best? No, we want him to answer. No, give him a chance.
No, nothing wrong with that. It's your question, man. Nothing wrong with that.
We just laugh, Kalisa, that now going to be your question.
Yeah. I'll answer it this way. You have some very good teams on paper, but they did not either win a title or they did not win the major titles. Glenmuir is one of them. I mean, I'm not taking anything away from Garvin Massey and McGrath, but when you're watching that finals, everybody figure more or less that why am I sitting in the stadium and Glenmuir is not one of the team on the field? And it is based on the team that they have. But for you to have won the major title and the Oliver Shield, the Kingston College, I think, is the best schoolboy team for the 2024 season.
Thank you very much, sir. And congratulations again.
Thank you very much.
Okay, sir.
All right, Kalisa. Good. We're moving straight ahead to Peter.
Yeah, but make Shuko ask the question because I don't want him to continue when me attack.
No, I will not ask a question. This show is about the coach. Go ahead, Peter.
Yeah. Peter,
All right, congratulations, coach.
Yeah, man,
Congratulations. My first question, coach, we have to congratulate you. Oh, you really get those two ballers from Guyana?
Well, you know, it's that thing was set up where right now it bought out a seed with a few more.
Yeah, I know that. I have to give you credit. That's why I'm saying, whosoever do it, I have to give them credit because most people never really understand about the JC match with you. They never know that about 5 of those same players used to come KC. That's what bring up that hype against you. That's why they come so hard because they want to win something. And at the start of the season, I talked to a gentleman, my good friend from KC, and I said to the man, said, KC, you're going to win the title. Last year, they lost so much player and finished at the semi-final. This year, it's going to be a different. There's this guy, Kelvin Brown, where I like so much. I like that kid so much because I say he and the one from Monroe, from Cornwall, the two promising future football for Jamaica. So you might can give me some more about it. But me still want to hear the answer how you really get those ballers from Guyana. And then me ask the next question.
Yeah, I think well, genuinely Kingston College has a particular link to Guyana, mainly because we have an old boy that what you call it, has a link there because of job related kind of stuff, business operations.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's another personnel within the ranks of Kingston College that has a particular link there. So it comes through that.
Coach, you don't want to call the name. Sorry, Peter. You don't want to call that personal name.
Not necessarily.
You don't want to big up the man.
One if I'm a good friend, Richie Royal.
Yeah, man, Richie has a particular link there, and then we have as I said, we have that's a part of the management team too that has some work link there, so he knows some persons there, and yeah.
I see someone Dennis was asking fight for the College, but Dennis maybe don't understand that the former coach there was a very good footballer there in 78. That's what he got CC man to Lenny, so can't take away that from him.
Yes.
But so coach, yeah, I listen to you and I learned something. I tell Rankin and person on the show before that when I was coaching Ochi, I said the same thing to the guys because I learned that from Frank Brown at Dintil. Frank Brown said to me, don't worry about going to play against. That time it was Clarendon College and Veer in that group. We're fighting against. And he used to say, listen, you're not playing against. School is just a building. You go there, anything them do, you can do it. And I like that attitude where you bring to the players them. Yes, really, and I think a lot of coach should tell their players that. Not like Shuko tell person said this school don't have no name. You don't have no name, and so I tell them name don't play football. It's where you go there and do. So you have the right attitude, coach. And I respect that.
You see, Peter, all right. So both seasons, last year and this year, it was kind of different. The first year when we were drawn in a group with 5 or 6 former champions, man. Charlie Smith, Calabar, Idle. And I said to the players from day one, look, we're going to play a game and not against not a team, not a name. We're not going to play against a name, we're just going to play a game. All right, against a team and not a name. This year now, we're drawn in a group with quote-unquote lesser teams in terms of quality. And I still took the same approach. I said, listen, we have a match and it's not against a name, but against a team. So that's the approach I've always taken with my teams.
Yeah, and that's a good way, coach. And I respect you for that. Your players, they really will learn from you and can pass it on to others. Let them know that is not. Yeah, and I respect that. And The next thing, coach, I like when you was at one of my farmer schools, you was at Ulmas and you done pretty well, and congratulations with that. But the issue what I'm going to ask you now, coach. Coach, you don't think that, just like how you said the Oliver Shield, that kind of drop, which you don't think that the winner of the Manning Cup should still come back and play for the Ben Francis? Because Sardi laughing, I know that Sardi. You don't think they should pay for the Ben Francis like how it used to be in the old time days? That's
you know, Peter, it's something that something last year I would have posed to the president, Mr. Keith Wellington, that Keith, I said to him that, look, if a team reach the semi-finals of a competition or the finals and just leave empty-handed, and when a team drop out from the quarter-final round and win a title, boy, it look away, but I kind of understand their thing is once you reach a certain stage of the competition, what they did is pull away the possibility of a team trying to win 4 titles and to give quote unquote the lesser teams that would have fell by the wayside a chance to win a title. So I guess that is it. But I really like when a team has to navigate and try to see to what extent they can share resources and plan out winning all titles on offer. That has always been my thing. But if they had stuck with that format, then maybe a BB Coke, maybe a McGrath, you know. I mean, you have those schools winning a title, you know.
But coach, I still gonna say a school should get the chance to win 4 titles, because from Kingston College win Triple Crown in 85. No, it's a 4 title 85. No other school not do it again, and now it's not gonna happen again because
it's not going to happen.
they take that away. And I think now, coach, you guys have to come and come to the principal them and say when the principal meet and say like to Sadi, when a school play now and you go there, you have school will know, say, all right, you know what happened, we only want to reach 16, it don't matter what happened, we can drop down to go and pay for a title. Some school do that. A team should play and go up to this ISA standard and earn them spot for play for the Ben. I think Ben Francis and Grave supposed to cry and say, boy, what type of thing going on now? It's supposed to cry and Grave. If I'm a VA principal, supposed to cry and Grave and say, what these man them doing? And I want when Saudi get the president and the program, this is what I agree with him about.
Well, let me ask a question.
Where you say when Saudi that's supposed to be on top of his agenda?
Yes, man. I want him to get.
I'm not sure about that at all.
Yeah, man. I think this as approach is always to keep the interest of other teams and motivate them. You know?
But you motivate team. Or you're going to have motivate team. If you're going to have a team to play for a lesser title, man, or you're going to motivate them if you try to win the Dacosta Cup and the Manning Cup, which is the main prize. If you're going to have a cup below for them to win, you have to encourage them to go this strengthening team and play, because everybody, when was that every man want to win the Dacosta Cup or the Manning Cup. So you're going to do something. Remember that day, in those days. All right, we got final 84 to with us these two. And we never win. Didn't never win the Ben Francis, you know. We win 79 and win 81, and we still not win Ben Francis because as a team win. Cornwall win 80. Where's his Saudi?
I want to interject you right at that point. Can I?
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, the host.
All right. And I'm saying this to you and Vassel, and you mentioned about winning these titles. But teams in the past would have gone to semi-finals in the Dacosta Cup and the Manning Cup, semi-finals in the Walker Cup and Ben Francis Cup, respectively, and still never win anything.
Yes, but Sadi, but at least they get a chance to play for it, Sadi. So you cannot say
No, Peter. But what I'm saying, the teams who have gone to Champions Cup and don't get a chance to go Ben France or Walker Cup, they still get a chance for Champions Cup, the Dacosta Cup or Manning Cup, and the Olivier Shield.
No, I'm not agree with that, sir.
Ben Francis, no, but the Ben Francis in this night is that like you have lost anything first day because teams would have gone. I had played in both semi-finals already and lost from home empty-handed.
Yeah, Sadi, I'm going to ask that question, Sadi. I'm going to ask that question. I want Mr. Pastor to answer me. If JC now that never played for Walker Cup, but Mona win a title, which one of those teams come out better at the end of the season?
Mona. If you come out better, yes.
Mona's right. So give JC and your team to play against those teams who are wait, and if they beat them, they earn them spot and you can say them is a true champion. But when them not play against them in a knockout, we can't respect them as a champion.
Big man, JC play Mona, don't it?
Who?
JC did play Mona. Hold on, man. In the competition, wrong or right?
I mean, know the fixture this setup, so I couldn't say.
Yes, man.
Right,
sir, Vassel?
Yeah, sorry.
So what I'm saying, Peter, coming to you there, Chuko. What my point is this. While I understand your point, saying that giving teams a chance to win 3 or 4 competition, that really doesn't, because the same teams you're giving a chance to win them, they still can come home empty-handed.
Of course, but me play the competition and come home empty-handed.
Why not giving other persons an opportunity to win? Why not giving other teams opportunity to win? One.
Okay. I'll say this. Sorry.
Mr. Ose.
Yes, sir, Shuko?
You're going against what you said on the show as the host of the show.
No. Because I'm the host, Shuko. I asked to interject. I am the host, so I'm not going against.
You're making the show right now about a debate between you and Peter, and the coach is sitting there. You said that we're not supposed to do that.
Shuko, humble yourself. Don't go down that road. May I dictate what takes place on the show. So don't tell me that. We are the host, and all I'm saying is that everybody get an opportunity. I asked as the host to interject Peter because he mentioned what I have said about the point he made. So that's why I interjected. That's all I did.
Okay.
All right? Good.
Yeah, the host, man. Coach.
I'm saying, as it relates to that.
Mr. Pastor, I think, Mr. Pastor, and tell me if I'm wrong or if you agree with me, I think if they're going to do something like that, they should have, when the top round 16 at the Manning Cup and the round 16 at Dacosta Cup, they have knockout match with every one of those teams playing for the Ben Francis. Whosoever got final and win, they are the champion. Not no separate nobody who is semi-final, they cannot pay for it. Just have a draft with those 16 teams, play a knockout match in. You understand? And a sponsor, I would like they to get back to play for the new Shield, where the winner of the Walker Cup play the winner of the Ben Francis. So you remember those titles used to play. So something like that, I would love to see go back, but they have to get their act together.
All right.
You know, respond your coach. What you say? Respond.
No, yeah, well, I guess Issa will from time to time and every year look at what they have and assess and make the. Because remember, Issa is run by principals, and in fairness to them, sometimes they invite coaches and for their food of thought. So I guess the various stakeholders will assess at the end of the season again and come up with the right format for the various competition.
Okay. So next season, how strong you think your team will be for next season, coach? I can put my money upon them again this year again for win, like I put it early, say KC gonna win. Because I said that at start, so I can't do that again this year.
We will be competitive, man. We will be the usual competitive Kingston College.
not usual. Well, I know you guys have that, but and I hope. So what about my big star baller? Because Kelvin Brown.
Yeah. What else about him?
No, my baller that so I want to know because I love how you give him some run this year. You give more run last year, but this year you give less run this year.
Yeah, man, I was wondering what more run this year because last year Kelvin, after playing 3 matches at the Manning Cup level, him cry and say he want to go back down to the age group. And fan player has that mentality. I mean, you have to just not push him. But this year, Kelvin has a lot of weight, a lot of work to do. Kelvin has mostly focused this year on going away to play various tournaments with different clubs and academies, and that only exposes you, but it don't develop you. Yeah. And so Kelvin has not shown the kind of commitment to practice this year for him to have played more games. So Kelvin was not properly prepared for football this year, and I can tell you that.
Okay.
This year now, I think that based on what transpired, he will see the need to be more committed, and this year might just be the year that Kelvin will be the best prepared for our competition.
Yeah, man, because him probably, I know about the kid, says that tournament he go and play in go a tournament and play. I think in Cayman, and
Yeah, man, I was there.
Say you guys never know. So one of these coach from Manchester United asked him about him and the one from Penn. And before Richard asked him, say, who is that you? So me fly down to Jamaica, come see him play for your side, Constant Spring. He was playing the under so he is for Constant Spring.
No, I know that he's a part of an academy that based in Constant Spring. That much I know.
Yeah. And leader, when we asked leader said, no, man, no one can beat my team, man. And when me see the guy, this try, me said, this kid. I even thought it was Richie, so I thought it was Whisper brother to him big. I never knew he was so young.
Yeah.
So you have a very bright, and I know in your hand, coach, I believe in you because you have the right attitude, and I believe in you, and I know him will reach far.
Yeah, man. Thanks much, man.
Yeah, I know he will reach far. So somebody else, all right, go on or.
All right, thank you very much, Peter. All right, back coach. Denise asking this question, and she bad me if you ask the question. What is the probability of you going to Clarendon College? We need you, please. You need to answer that. She want me to ask the question.
Well, put it this way, I don't know what the football gods have planned for me.
Coach, might make them tie you up in a question where you're supposed to answer, because you have to respect the coach.
But then you know that Clarendon College has always been our art, man, and I have dreamt for a while, to coach at Clarendon College, to be honest. But it just never happened, man. I think I've passed that stage where I sit down and say, boy, I mean, I would love to coach my alma mater, but you never know.
Coach, who will it here, sir? Because I don't want nobody come beat you.
Can I get a turn?
Hold on, let me finish with the chat and come back to you, Shuko. Then is also
Richard.
Hold on, ranking. Wait, no man. We have to chat for Denise. The question that she had asked. In the Olivier Shield final, I think Garvin nullified your game plan. Would you agree?
Yeah, to an extent, but I think what happened in the Olivier Shield, both teams just cancel each other. Both teams was just waiting for the season to come to an end. Both teams were kind of inconsistent, to be honest. It wasn't the best game from either team. And I thought they canceled each other, to be honest. Yeah, but I think Garvey would have been privy to some things that we would have done in that game. Even though towards the end we would have made some adjustment, which is one of the things that I coach my team to do. I will change the whole setup and the whole way of playing during a game, the whole structure of the team, I prepare my team to make that adjustment during a game. For many games this season, we would have done that when we're not finding our way. You know, that was one such game.
Okay. All right. So Jermaine Thomas came in earlier, bigging you up, coach. So we have the Flow Cup, the Dacosta Cup, and Manning Cup. The great Vassel Reynolds coming from.
Big up yourself, JT.
All right, so JT. Rankin, you had a comment that you want to take on or a question from the chat?
Yeah, man, we're trying to get all the questions out. So Richard Green said, have you ever or will you ever coach in the JPL, coach?
Yeah, man, I've coached in the JPL already, you know, but I've never got into the Premier League from the get-go where I can pre-season prepare a team and set my goals and objectives. It has always been clubs, you know, reaching out to me to come in and fill a gap or to starve off regulation. You know, so I've never gone there for a serious season where, you know, I'm involved in the pre-season, I'm involved in the recruitment, I'm involved in the whole planning and the whole structure. But yeah, maybe that will happen in the near future. Let's see.
All right. So Nigel Stewart said, coach, which team tactically played you the best this season?
I think Glenmuir did, and Jamaica College. We never respond to the Jamaica College because, as I said, the team was so flat and just never changed gear. The Glenmuir team, having known some of the things that would have brought to the table, tactically they came with some things, even though we matched most of them. But I think in the end, tactically they were up there.
All right. Pala said, coach, can you pinpoint the reasons you lost to JC? And if you would have met them in the final, would it be more challenging to plan for them?
Yeah, man, JC was a better team on the day. They had a very good first 30 minutes. We actually lost the game in the first 30 minutes, to be honest. The poorest 30 minutes we would have had. It would have been interesting to see what would have been the outcome if we had played a better game the first half. I mean, a better game like, say, you know, the performance against a Mona or Tivoli against a Glenmuir. It would have been interesting to see, you know, what would pan out. But as I said before, they came with a very good game the first 45 minutes. And they took advantage of the fact that we were very flat and never changed gear. Meeting them, yeah, maybe, because, well, maybe it would have been easier for us to recognize what are the different options and what they could bring to the table. The fact that they had flipped the coin and do some of the things differently from what we had planned in the first game.
All right, so those are all the questions from the chat. So, it's Roderick turn and then Vivian.
I remember, ranking that a JC KC clash, especially nowadays, there's a lot more than the tactical planning. You know, there's a lot more playing for because of various factors, as we all know. You know, so sometimes even some of those plans just go through the window because I remember when one of the players scored, you know, that was at KC for 5 years, you know. The man run over, you know, and shoot up the KC bench, you know.
Yeah, man, I saw that. I was watching.
Yeah, it's that serious, you know. Yeah.
All right, so those are all the questions from the chat. Roderick will go next, and then Vivian. So Roderick, your time.
Good night, coach.
Night.
Rajic from Glenmore, Piet right hand.
Where's someone?
Whoa.
Yes, to me many times, but but we never speak. Remember in the summer when Piet was sitting under the tent.
You speak up a little bit there.
You remember when I was doing the teaching course at Dembe and you did come over Glenmore?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it was me and Piet sitting under the tent.
Yeah.
I don't really have any question to ask. I was just telling you congratulations on winning it.
Yeah, man, respect, man. And you should know the kind of closeness Spirit and I have when it comes to the football, you know?
Yeah, I know that. I know.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, man. Respect, man.
All right. Vivian, your time and then start again.
Big up in Mr. Vassel.
Where some man?
Good night, man. Good night, man. Enough respect, you know.
Yeah, man. Respect, man. Respect.
Yeah, man. A long time I give you respect, you know, but I gotta tell you when I give you respect from, you know, and this will make me give you more respect, you know. If you win them 2 trophies, but I go tell you when I give you your flowers from.
Yeah.
I will share that. You remember 2017 when I did the Russies?
Yeah.
Remember when I beat Brownstone 1 love down I'm here? And Brownstone beat on 1 love down I'm here?
Yeah.
And you come up, Jackson. And struggle it out.
Yeah, man.
And from there, so from you struggle out the part, from there, so you don't take down everything.
Yeah, man.
You see, from there, so a Brownstone, I'm a team on my back.
Yeah.
And from there, so I give you respect. You hear that, Mr. Vassel?
Yeah, man. Respect, man.
From 2017, I give you big respect.
Yeah, man.
Because I see you struggle out there, so, and come deal with the Dacosta Cup the year there.
Yeah.
And from there, so I give you respect. And this is what you win now. I give you bigger respect, you know.
Yeah, man.
Yes, man, I have to give you bigger respect, man.
Yeah,
because you put in the work.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, and congrats on the Manning Cup and the Olivier Shield is a good look. Yeah, man, and you don't know. You take all of the big title, them so them like Ben Francis and them like a trophy there. If when I think say you probably go back down the road there.
Yeah, it's just that I want to win the Ben Francis to add to my collection, you know.
Oh, all right. So you might go back down the road because remember 2019 you go close enough.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man, go close, man.
Yeah, man.
The free kick, the damage you do, the free kick, the mash you down.
I would have won the equivalent, the Walker Cup, but the Ben Francis is the only one, you know.
Yes, man. Yeah, man. But me have to give a big respect and congrats to you because you're a good coach from 2017 from them time there. Yeah, man. I respect the man from them time because I say, so somebody are watching my tongue and then tell me say Cornwall fans them are real for Brownstone.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. And me I say, what's there? You see it? We beat in the backyard and they come down, they come beat it. 1 love.
Yeah, man. I think I Cornwall will book immediately after that Brownstone match there, you know.
Yeah, man.
Oops.
But
I'll give it 3.
that's what I understand about you, Mr. Vassel.
Yeah.
You see, any other Glenmore game that they got penalty, remember me tell you, them in a trouble. Yeah, man, because from it, I see the 5-4 when you did Brownstone, I said John was Stark. Boy, I say me hat me man the year there.
Yeah, man, let me tell you, man, the Glenmore. When we played Glenmore in the CM Cup last year, I went and scored Glenmore in their Dacosta Cup semifinals, you know, and that I think it was a penalty shootout against Dinty, yeah. And believe you me, man, as we mirror the man in penalty kick like to the T, practice it to the T.
Mm-hmm.
That now. When the game reached the penalty shootout, my keeper never react at all. And it was from then me decide say, yo, we need one of the keeper to be able to be effectively.
Keeper the too fat, Vassel. Keeper the too fat.
Yeah. but yeah. Trim off a little bit, but he would have kept us in a lot of games this year. I think he had a decent season, to be honest. You know.
I want him to notice look, you can see you play them good for kick penalty kick.
Yeah, man.
Every team you train them in the perfect way when it comes to penalty kick.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man, but as I'm saying, Mr. Vassel, a big respect in a man and done when I love alone and just continue putting the great work in cause you don't know, so you're one of them man that were putting the work in and you deserve it because you put in the work. And you see the next thing I'm like about you now. And anytime a player run out in a position, you make sure put him back in a position and they say, boy, I run, I say you have stay now.
Yeah.
Yes, man. I that me rate with you, man. No boy come back yourself.
90 minutes.
That's why I tell a
90
man,
minutes.
the goal that Glenmere scored against us, the winner, listen to me. I am not hereby saying, gentle people and ladies and that, but I took my eye off. Listen, it was a crucial time of the game. 2 minutes, 2 minutes. That's 2 minutes after the referee put up the 4 minutes thing. Yeah, because my right back get caught out of position, and then the midfield go across to cover, and was late in terms of positioning. Everything was just off, and that's why the ball came across. Maybe if I was paying attention, maybe my guide, would have made
that don't happen.
one or two of those players to be in a better position to deal with it. But I'm not here saying that it would have prevented the goal, but maybe.
Yeah, man, that one of the things I respect about you, man. You always make sure you play them in a position and make sure them at the right spot. You get me? But you don't know sometimes, as a coach, sometimes, say some little thing happen, and that is football. Because sometimes a player get out of position and you don't know. So by the time if you go carry him back, it done gone late already.
Yeah.
So it's all about football, yeah, man. And as I say, big respect again and love alone, my father, isn't it? Yeah, man. All right, man. So just bless up yourself, man, and continue to do the good work. And may your football it never empty, my father. Bless up.
Yeah, man. Respect.
All right, Sadi, back to you.
Respect, Vivian. Coach.
Yes, Sadi, yeah, sure.
If you want to run out in the chat, STGC soon send for a Vassel to get them out of their joint. What do you think about that? Just a step across the road.
Other side of North Street, them say.
Yeah.
Well, the good thing about it is very nearby.
And you always
when I leave home to go to work, the journey wouldn't change really,
I know you love the blues too,
Yeah, man. Yeah, I love the blue. I love that color, man. One of my favorite color, actually.
Yes. But let me ask a question because I'm not sure our viewers and panelists would have known. But I can't remember the amount of schools that you have coached already. But the question I'm asking, which of those schools that you have ever coached, which you have not been to the semi-final in whichever competition with?
Well, no, man. I think all of them would have been to at least the semi-finals of the Ben Francis.
And Dacosta Cup.
Yeah, man. I mean, Garvin Masio went to the semi-finals of the Dacosta Cup.
Well, and Vassel. Me not remember saying Coach Garvin.
Yeah, man. That Garvin Masio that won under which coach again? Muslim, yeah. No, man, I had that team. It was from that team, that program I left to go to Woolmans, That team went to the semi-finals and lost against William Nib with Paul Teagat Davis. And it is that program, that same team Muslim took over and won with. Yeah, man. So 90% of the team, if not 100%, of all the schoolboy teams that I would have coached would have played in at least a semi-finals of a competition.
Great
whether at the under 14 or under 16 level.
What happened to that team that changed the name? What's the name of that team again? You were there after you left Manchester.
Oh, well, really not in a coaching capacity still. I had the not really. I was there teaching
Alphonsus
and
Davis.
helping them to put a program together. But I really didn't. I really wasn't the coach, really.
Okay, guys.
Mr. Vassel, I have one more question there, please.
Yeah, man.
You see the little youth, the name Messi? You know, so I know him do. Yeah, man, he mother drop out, you know.
Who?
Messi.
Which Messi?
The little ball up on your team.
In mother?
Yeah.
When that?
I think a good little while now, man. Me I wonder if him see him one.
No, I don't think so. Well, hey, well, I would have spoken to Messi every day this week. So, and I met his mother sometime in September for the first time.
Oh, and him then.
Every day this week. So, yeah.
Yeah, and him then. Big up.
No.
So yes, coach. So back to it again. So you have gone to the semi-finals in respective competitions for basically all the teams that you have prepared and coached. You had coached me some time ago, thing over a period. I don't even remember how long. What is it like now? You wanna laugh, man. What is it like now? Which era is easier for you to coach? In the 90s or present? With all the good teams that you had.
It is more challenging. The coaching is more challenging now. And sometimes I ask myself, I mean, why is it so when there's so much education available for coaches and players? There's so much opportunity in terms of exposure. There's so much resources. Players can view game, all the different equipment and whatever. But I think back then players were more disciplined, follow instruction, mainly because there were a limited amount of distractions, and there weren't so many opportunities, and players saw it fit to focus on working hard and trying to attain that limited opportunity that exists. So for me, the present, what you call it now, the Generation Z, them call it. It's a lot of distractions. But one wonders why, you know. So sometimes I ask myself, there's more opportunity. Everything is available through the football now, but yet still, players I don't think is as committed as back then. You know, sadly back then, if a player choose a tear off a player foot, he might hit the field same way and he might train and watch. No, not just that the player not going to go on the field with that boot now, but the boot has to be at a certain color and cost. It's just more challenging now, in my estimation.
Okay. So, coach, you know, may I tell the people this again, you know, and you know, as much as you and I are so close, there's one thing about Vassel Reynolds that I'm not sure that I will forgive Vassel Reynolds, because Vassel Reynolds is one of the person who stopped me from tasting the victory of winning the Dacosta Cup.
Yeah. You have to tell the man how come we do that.
Sorry, you have to make you know what go on in easy, you know.
I want Vassel to talk about it, bro. Vassel need to come and explain. I never drive out like this, but Vassel had this team for a number of years, you know, when the team reached. Matter of fact, I can tell you, Vassel always prepare and tell himself he have a 3-year program. And on the third year, Vassel run left the program start. Left the material team. Talk to us, Vassel. Tell the people what happened.
Yeah, well, I can't say if that situation comes up now, if I would make the same decision. But you know, it was younger days in my coaching, and an opportunity came up. I never have much time to think about it, so I had to make I had to make a quick decision, really, and maybe in the end it would have been a wrong decision based on what you just said. I mean, I was preparing the team for it was in our third year now, beginning of the third year, and looking to attain something that season. But as I said, an opportunity came up. I had a little time, a few days to make a decision, and I just decided to roll the dice that way. But having looked back, maybe it wasn't the best decision, you know. But in hindsight, that is.
Well, we can't say anything now, coach, but I think that was one of the best teams you would have had to coach. And remember, people, the man start the preparation. Is that like the man leaving up, the man start the preparation and everybody looking forward for the D-Cup competition, you know. And all of a sudden, no coach. Vassel was my boy, may I tell you, but trust me, coach. All in all, with all that you have done for me and, you know, the coaching expertise and everything. I keep saying this all the while, and the people on the show are tired for me talk about Vassel, so I kind of stop now and leave the rankings and so on to brand the Vassel.
One Vassel.
One Vassel Reynolds, amen.
Yeah. But coach, what are the things would have prevented you from going across those semi-final berths in those former years? Was it experience or the lot thereof?
Yeah, I would say lack thereof. I would say lack thereof. So in recent times, some coaches would have called me when they reach this stage of their competition and asking for advice. And based on the experience that I would have garnered over the past couple of years, I said to them, look, it is time to just remain calm and don't ignite anything that is new to the team and force them into a pressure situation. Just keep it simple and nice and relax at that stage. Because one notice that when they reach the semi-finals or final, if you come to my training sessions leading it to my semi-finals and my finals, you would believe it's a little, what you call it? It's just a little tournament I'm praying for. Because at that stage, you know, you don't want to raise the bar to the extent where it's about causing tension and you know and them stuff. You want the players to be relaxed, nothing new, just keep it simple, focus on the tactical details and your planning. And that, I think, I was lacking back then.
Coach, I hear two people ask the question about the Centurion. I hear somebody ask a question about the team that you'll have next year. Can you safely say that you will defend your title next year?
I can't safely say that. What I can safely say is that, like any other time, and I've said this before, once I mold a program together and I get going, I'm always going to knock at the door. Always. Not, but I can't guarantee and say, boy, I'm going to defend or win it. But, you know, KC will be in the mix.
You're lucky. I'm happy that you said that a while ago because I was just about to say you can defend the title with another team, you know. I wonder what that's. I was wondering that's why you say you can't.
If you notice, I said KC will be in the mix, you know.
You know what, Coach? We're going for a while. I'm gonna give ranking and the others another opportunity. People running out
easy, you know.
Can I ask a question, please?
All right, Kelisa. Coming to you, Kelisa. Normally, you see people, I would ask the coaches about the offers that they receive and so on and so forth. Well, I don't need to ask Vassel this time around because if he's in talks and I don't know, something must be wrong. But anyway, I'll leave it to that. Go ahead, Kelisa.
Okay, so in 2017, when you won the Dacosta Cup, how did you feel to know that you defeated your school? Like, how that feel?
Yeah. Listen, I felt comfortable coming into that. But listen, Khalis, I felt comfortable coming into that game for a couple of reasons. One, I couldn't have been a loser any way you take it.
Right.
And the other thing is, I was relaxed because listen, even the Rossies fans felt that it was a sound beating. That you know, so I was relaxed. I mean, much was not expected of us to have reached the finals, much less to have beaten Kleinland College. So I was the most relaxed coach of the two. And then when I walk in the stadium and look around, everybody are calling me. Kleinland College fans, Russian fans, Kleinland College fans, them shout me and tell me, say, boy, Vassel, we love you, but we are going to kill you today.
Sure.
Yeah, man. So, yeah, man. It was, yeah, but it was, I felt good not to have beaten Kleinland College, but to have beaten the caliber team that they had that year. Because I think for the past 6 years, that would have been the best Kleinland College team, you know. Not the ones that won the couple of years ago to me.
Right. Yeah. But, okay. You had me in tears, just know that. And I'm still have seriously.
Kalisa, listen,
I will if you having a tears, Mr. Vassel. But me give
this. Listen, man, I hear that the majority of the Kleinland College fans stop at the bar, you know, man. And trust out the woman bar, you know, and say, Mommy, listen, when we're returning, all right, that's how we are come back and celebrate. I'll pay you a bill, you know. And you see, after the match, man, them take a different route.
Wow, Mr. Vassel, boy, I make people ball here, then.
You think
boy,
you have
come down a Jackson with one piece of crowd, Mr. Vassel. Mighty God, you got you nervous down there.
No, man, when you come to the Russian fans, you know.
Hey, me say look like I was smaller than look here come a center the year the way.
Vivian, you're cross talk, you know, bro. Everybody will get back them thing, man. Sure.
Yes, Rankin.
So want everybody to finish them thing and then we
No, I'm not step in. I'm just saying Khaleesi and I don't have a Vassel because I have him up for 2016.
Oh, in the Champions Cup.
Have him up. Vassel, me travel go all the way to Sabah and go watch me say lose.
I remember I created school that was coaching, you know, man. I might you old man when I coach, you know. No respect, Mr. Vassel. You are the greatest thing, Mr. Vassel.
All right, Peter, thank you.
Can I finish, please?
Yeah, finish, Khaleesi.
Yeah, so may I say, up to this day, no game when we lose, no final or no big game or whatever, no hurt me. So that is no one. I'll know we hurt.
Are you still rate
Vassel
with all of that?
6? Eh?
Are you still rate Vassel with all of that?
Yes, but we just still hurt. We just hurt, but we rate him, you know. But he hurt me, man. Made that me for days. Oh God!
Respect to Vassel.
Imagine you win every single game, not even draw one game, and you go lose a final. It hurts, man.
Why the year them give me some Vassel respect, brother.
Khaleesi.
Yeah.
And I've asked myself, you see, you come back down to where Coach Vassel saying, where you ask the question, your team was so supreme, but technically he used statics and beat your team. That not say the Russian team did better than your team, you know.
Listen to me, sir, and listen to me good, please. Russies went home with the trophy. CC can't say them are no best. Our Russies are the best. They won the trophy. And no matter if you have a goal of quality, who win the trophy, and them are the best. The end.
Russia was the best team that year.
Exactly.
That's so true.
And I go on the talk. Me give me Sebastian respect. Although you beat up my school and send me home at my yard at the same time. Yeah, respect.
Vivian, you don't get no more time to talk tonight, you know, because you're not waiting. Shuko, Rankin, I know it's your turn. I'm going to allow Shuko to go just before you right now. He has been asking for a little while. You mind?
All right.
Go ahead. All right, Shuko, go ahead.
Light again, coach.
Yeah, sure.
All right, quickly, let's ask the two quick questions. All right. Peter make reference to something I said on a previous show, right?
Yeah.
But I just want Peter not to misquote me. So I'm just gonna just bring you up to speed on what he was talking about. All right. I made mention on this show, right, when Dinty was going to play Ochi Reyes, that Dinty was gonna lay down the history on Ochi. And by making that statement, I was just referring to the fact that Dintil was a more consistent team, a more experienced team than Ochi. So I wasn't saying that it was factual that the history will dictate that we will win. But
Yeah.
I know based on your experience of coaching, you must have seen instances where even though a KC or a Clarendon College might not be at their best, but just that prestige, that name, sometimes some teams even lose before the game even starts. It's a mental thing at times based on who you play. Would you agree?
Yeah, man. Sometimes you really depend on your pedigree and your experience and your brand and your name that you bring to the table and get you over the line. But the thing about it though, Shoko, is that like a Kingston College, any team, Penwood, quote unquote, no disrespect to the teams, but quote unquote the lesser schools. The thing about it is that KC has to be careful when they meet up any team because all teams want to beat Kingston College. That is the flip side of the thing, you know.
Right.
Yeah, man. When you're a Clarendon College, but Clarendon College, like many know, the name alone, man, and in most cases, Clarendon College top that team already before we give
exactly.
It
because we know it's 11 versus 11, you know.
To beat Clarendon College.
Yeah.
Me want to say something like Chuko to short me, you know.
No. My time now with the coach. No cross thing.
What you call me name and no cross?
I am rebutting something that you said from before. We're not gonna have a debate.
Suko, let me say something again. Peter, you see, if you continue, I'll cut you off. You know? Me say, we are going to wait until everybody does. If you have something to rebut, you just wait until you finish terms. That's all I'm saying. We agree, you don't have to jump, but remember, no people. Rankin and I, we are the host of the show. Vassel is the guest. I understand that people want to say things, but just go through it, no, man. Can't do that. We're not cross cut, no. All right? So, continue, Shuko.
Okay, because we know it's 11 against 11, but it's just a simple point. And if once you understand the game of football, you will understand the simple point. Okay? And the next thing now, I heard the same gentleman here, Peter, was because he keep bringing up this point about bringing back the Nutriment Cup and how the Ben Francis champion should play the Oliver Shield champion, right? But what I want to ask you, coach, even though you put out your stipulation already, that just because you want to put it on your CV to say that yes, you have won the Ben Francis, the one that eludes you, right?
I just said that though, you know. I just said that though, because the only way I will be able to win the Ben Francis unless I coach in a school that falls into the category of how they set up the thing. No, really, you know.
I understand because you're a victim of your own success, you know.
Yeah, because I can't.
Based on your consistency, I doubt you will get the chance to play in the even the Walker Cup now that you're in the Manning Cup, right? Yeah. So you're a victim of your own success. So what I really want, the honest question that I really want to ask you, though, coach, based on because people must take into consideration that the format has changed now. So what I as a fan of the football, I would not get any buzz out of seeing KC versus Stets. It wouldn't get me excited. It wouldn't get me excited. Let me tell you why. Knowing that Stets would have dropped out of the Dacosta Cup and then fall into the Ben Francis. And a team like KC, that would have conquered the Manning Cup and then go and conquer the Oliver Shield. What thrill would you get from playing the Ben Francis champion? Give me an honest answer.
Oh, you mean like the Oliver Shield champion playing the Ben Francis champion?
Yeah. Well, would that be any big scalp based on the format now, knowing that team would have fallen out of the Dacosta Cup and in your case, would have conquered the Manning Cup, conquered the Oliver Shield? Well,
I not necessarily. I don't think it would be a major scalp really. But what usually happens, Shuko, is it would have been better to go back to what you saw him before. Because what you saw him before in my young days, is
exactly
what's something named Nutriment Shield, where the Walker Cup champion plays the
Ben Francis.
Yeah. So there was another shield, the Nutriment Shield.
But
but all of these shields, all of these shields is based on sponsorship.
Walker Cup champion now can tackle the Ben Francis Cup champion.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's based on sponsorship, and if a sponsor don't think a competition will be
and plus sponsorship, and because now is more schools in the competition than back then,
Yeah, so we have to be realistic. We can't just want hold on back on old history. We have to be realistic because too much game. That's why they change the format of the Ben Francis thing, because teams would complain that they're tired of having to play in so much competition and the rest time was so short in between. Exactly. All right, coach. So I'll give somebody else a turn and then we'll come back around again when our time. Blessings.
Yeah.
Yes, man. My time now, Saudi.
Yes, Rankin, your time.
All right. So coach, I have two questions and I have a special request before I go, because this is gonna be my last set of questions. I know it's getting late. So my first question to you still, coach. So I know you have a lot of quality players this season, Last night the panelists and I we debated the best 11 of the Manning Cup, and there was a heated debate about a lot of players. But everybody unanimously decided that Kevin Paul had to be one of the starting centre backs. And for me, he is the best centre back in Manning Cup this year, if not Schoolboy Football. I know that you would have inherited his services this season. So I want to ask you, coach, did you inherit his services when he was that good, or you want to take some of that credit for him being that good this season? Because I think that was a monster in Vassel. He's that good enough.
All right. Good question. I do believe, and I said it in a meeting when they were selecting the all one of the teams. I think it's the All Manning or All School team, one of them. That Kivas Paul, in my opinion, was the best centre back this year in Schoolboy Football, especially left side, because sometimes it makes a difference, So if it's left sided, I would have said him and then the guy from Glenmere. Yeah, right? And the good thing about Paul can play right side also. But we think we had in Paul's development, because I tell you, Paul was with us last year, It's just that there were some technical issues with what you call it now, with court and blah blah blah. We just decided to say, all right, you know what? Make them chill. And when Paul came to us the previous year, Paul was really a midfielder. And plays midfield for Guyana under 17 and Guyana under 20, not centre back, I saw something in Paul that tells me that I can coach this youth to play centre back. And I look at Paul sometime in mid-July and say, Paul, right, as a matter of fact, at the end of July in his preseason, going into August, at least 3 Premier League clubs wanted Paul based on what they saw in the preseason games. And I look at Paul in July and I say, Paul, you can be the best defender in Schoolboy Football. Maybe mid-August is his performance kind of fall somewhat, and we were all concerned. But then, the little experience I have, I said to the team and I said to people, look, at this level especially, we will have ups and downs, and maybe it's the right time he's falling off, mid-August. We'll get him back up the right time. But for me, I would have give Paul MVP for the season for Kingston College.
Over Damian Smith.
You see, look here. You see, Damian Smith missed a couple of games. Damian Smith, a lot of people don't know. Dejan Green, which is technically is my best midfielder, did not start play until quarterfinals. He missed the whole preliminary round, and part of the second round.
I have him in my best 11 as well.
And I tell you, he came in just in the quarterfinals that the man they start playing, because he has been injured right through July, August, September, and part of October, until there was a time when we felt like we weren't going to have him for the entire season. Damian Smith would have missed a couple of games because of different issues. But in terms of consistency, maybe you're going to say Damian Smith may impact the result of some games more, and maybe you're going to say, and let's face it, as a defender, it's always going to find it difficult to give defender MVP, But when it comes to consistency, I remember, Paul scored some crucial goals for us also, as a defender. Man. And he was outstanding in terms of leading the back line. Paul played centre-back with at least 3 other centre-back right through the season. So it shows you that there was a high level of leadership to be working the chemistry with 3 different players or 4 different players right through the season beside him. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. So, Coach, there's one more question and then a special request. So, there's a lot of debates on how these teams are selected. You're one of the coaches that will coach the team for Manning Cup side. I just want you to put to bed, Coach Vassel, what is the selection process like? And is there let me say reward for winning like the cup or going to the finals? Do you get a specific amount of players to go in the squad for winning the competition, or what's the selection process like? I just want that rumor that coaches are picking their favorite players or whatever to be put to bed. So how is the process selected?
All right. So in former years, the winner of the Manning Cup just pick a team, Well, he has fundamentally most of the say in picking a team. The winner of various functions, to the extent where Thailand College select about 9 players 1 year. JC select about 10 players 1 year. But ISA has changed that format since maybe the last 3 seasons, where them form a panel with the I think it's the top 6 coaches, like the semi-final coaches and the finalists of the Ben and the Walk Up. 6 coaches, about that. So it's about 6 coaches, ISA, some journalists like Sportsmax, especially Sportsmax who would have covered the games. Yeah, and some journalists. And so that's a panel, and they ask what they do is ask each coach of the 6 to submit 12 names, but only 4 you can submit from your team and 8 from another team. So that kind of give you a kind of, a level player feel, because you are say, boy, I want Shuku from Dintil, I want Wittig from Jonathan Brown, whatever. And you now add your 4. But yes, I do believe that if you win, it paints a picture that you have a couple of quality players, maybe not more than 3. Because you can use 3 or 4 quality players and win a title, But like it is now, I mean, the All Manning, I think we have Casey have what, 4 or 5? Glenmuir did not win it, and they have about 5 or 6. But yeah, so that's a format. I think it's a little bit more. There's more etiquette in terms of selection now, where a number of coaches and they form a panel, and not just one coach or whatever. And like the Dacosta Cup. Personally, I when I look at the 25, there are a couple of other players that I would have invited. But you're always going to have that, You're always going to have that. You're always going to have a 17 national team, a 15 national team, all Manning, all Dacosta Cup. And you say, boy, other man, they don't watch, get pick, other man, that is not going to, go away soon.
All right, Coach. I have a special request. I don't know how you're going to honor it, but hopefully you do. I think Kevin Paul and Walters, the Romain Walters from St. Catherine, are the two best defenders in Manning Cup. So hopefully, when your coaches are discussing your starting 11, hopefully remember Rankin telling you to start Walters and Paul at the back. Here.
Rankin, you know that is a big possibility. It's a big
Yeah, man.
possibility.
I bounced them that, man.
I was in the meeting when I supported the guy from St. Catherine. But yeah, why I tell you it's going to be a big possibility. Even though I was selected to be the head coach and I won't be around and I will be on national duty, so the St. Catherine coach will be in charge. so Romian will definitely start, I would think. But Romian, do you know? I think Romian was selected as both centre back and the ability to play right back. So I'm almost certain that he will be a part of this. Well, more than likely he will be a part of this. More than likely.
That's my request, man. I need to see Paul and Romain in the starting 11.
Yeah, man. I won't hear, but well, I will attend a few sessions, but I will not be here on the day of the game.
All right, Vassel, congratulations again, and thanks for coming on. Here, bless you.
Yeah, man, Rankin. Respect. I told Wittig 1 hour and I gave him an extra hour. So he can't complain.
Yeah, man.
Mr. Vassel, one question.
I'll get you when you go to Mexico next week. Just remember that. Go ahead, quickly.
Go ahead, Rajic.
What do you think about the central midfielder that play beside Ronaldo Barrett for Idle?
The what?
The central midfielder that plays beside Ronaldo Barrett for Idle, the number 10.
Oh, Keanu Jackson.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Listen, Keanu Jackson and Ronaldo Barrett are two of the best midfielders in the Schoolboy Football.
All right, then.
Well, in Manning Cup, I can say.
Yeah, you're right. In Schoolboy Football, not just in Manning Cup. All right, thanks.
Yeah, man.
All right, Sadi, back to you, Sadi.
All right. Vassel, I know you're gone over time, 1 hour over time, but you know, we have been using this for Schoolboy Football. I just want to touch a little about, national duties. Presently, you'll be moving across Mexico in a few days' time. Or you are there already, I'm not even sure, with the under 17. Talk to us about this under 17 program and the part that you play.
Yeah, well, the setup, Freddie Butler, Alderman Butler is the head coach. And he has both myself and Carlton Palmer, former national player, used to play for Campadon, as his two assistants. So that's from a technical point of view, and then you have a goalkeeper coach and whatever. So yeah, man. So that's the role I'm presently playing.
So going to Mexico now, what is this tournament all about?
Well, the Mexico Federation, I think they are putting on this tournament. A number of teams that will be involved in the qualifiers will be there. But most of the games that we will be playing will be against top club youth teams. Some of those teams will be a part of the tournament. So I'm quite certain that those games will be very, very useful. And of course, more than likely, we'll play at least 3 games, and then if you move on, you play semifinals and finals. So, I mean, a competition of this magnitude in a country like that, you expect high level competition and invaluable experience, and so we feel that this will help us to move into the final phase of preparation for the qualifiers that begins early February.
So, coach, under 17, in recent time, or probably for a long time, this has been the team that I would say in preparation mode for the longest while. You are for the Butler. None of the coaches can dearly complain this time around in terms of getting the teams together. The next part of the question that I want to pose. Is this the setup that is mainly local based players, or you have some international based players in this present under 17 setup?
All right. So there's no secret in Saudi. The two under 17 teams and the under 20 team that would have qualified for the World Cup already in the past. The template is there. Those teams would have been preparing for at least 6 to 7 months. In recent times, less time to prepare our youth teams, and we have not made it. So for me, we have to go back to what worked for us. And so, with JFF support and some other persons, the preparation for this under 17 team would have started from April and would have had a number of camps both locally and overseas. And as you mentioned, players, we would have looked at, I think since my involvement, this would have been the largest pool of players we would have looked at. We would have looked at close to 180 players. Possibly about 50 overseas players and the rest locally. So for the past 2 camps, would have had our regular core 20 and always, turning over 8 or 10 players, looking at while keeping a core. 24 of that number will go to Mexico. So we are almost there in terms of final selection. And this core presently consists of about, I would say 65% local. Yes. 35%.
Those international players that I call them, where are they from? Where are they training? Where are they playing?
Top clubs. Top clubs. Some of them are even at major league caps. We have players from England, we have players from Canada, we have most of the players, though, I think, are from the US. That's good, yeah.
And those will be traveled to Mexico too?
As I said before, when we look at the core of 24, 25 players right now, it's possible as 65-35%. 65 being local, 35% being overseas. And of course, that's the unit that we have right now in camp. That would have ended last week, and that's the kind of unit that will be traveling next week to Mexico in terms of the ratio.
Coach, I really wanted to switch gear, but this is one KC fan who I don't know why I never come on the panel. I think I'm scared to come face you. But him keeping sending these long messages. Shane Billing, die-hearted purple blood man.
Answer is no. The answer is no. Kelvin has to take handle of himself first, because as I said before, Kelvin likes to play but does not like to train. And if you don't like to train for your own sport, then leadership is far away from that.
That is harsh for the young man.
Yeah.
Coach, me know why you pressure Kelvin no more.
No, man, it's not pressure, man. He knows.
No, but I let out no more Kelvin secret.
Yeah, man, he knows. He knows. You see, Kelvin feels that tournaments with clubs and this and that will help him. But I keep telling him that, Kelvin, when you go to these tournaments, 1 week tournaments, it gives you some exposure. But you're bypassing the fundamentals of what of play. You just go and play games. That will just give you exposure, but it will not take you through the rudiments of the foundation to perform well.
Okay. Coach, I know it's going, and I know my fellow panelists, when I go back to the panelists, everybody will have their last question to close the show. Unfortunately, we probably have to have a point too, but I promise I'll get at least a half an hour when he's in Mexico. Coach, this is the under 17 setup, but for this long preparation you have going, are there any players that you have seen who you think can make a bold step to at least travel with the national senior team at this time?
Yeah, well, I there are some players that I felt could have got a look in with the last under 20. that group that didn't do all that well. And for me, once you have the potential to represent the country at under 20, then you should have the opportunity to at least be looked at the senior level. Because once you touch 17, 18, 19, you think about professional football at that level. So there are some good youngsters that I think will make the transition. And I say that because I've watched these players making the transition from under 14 Caribbean Cup to under 15 CONCACAF League that we had last year, and now to under 17. And I see no reason why the next year or two, a few of them can't make the transition for being looked at the under 20 and senior level.
Okay, that looks good for the future. Really good for the future. But anyway, people, I am really gone past my 1 hour that was scheduled and given to me. But I know Vassel not going to stay for. You don't have too much information to stay for 1 hour. But I promise you, not long from now, we'll have another one, maybe a one-on-one with Vassel to show some things because of the time and the amount of questions. All right. So at this time, people, I'm just going to ask you, this is the closing show, your final question or suggestion, whatever it is, your closing thing to Coach Vassel as we go along. So just final, I'm giving people, it's just, I know it's a lot, but just about 45 seconds, a minute or less.
Yes? Me not bother say because I want to say something earlier on and you stop me. Me and Vivian don't get fit so when I say, all right, go on. Me not bother say nothing.
No, man, you know, say it in your last thing, Peter. Remember, I just can't.
15 seconds now, I go do it. All right, all right. Me release.
I didn't say 15 seconds. I say a minute or less. You can't say it in a minute.
Go on, that.
Why you not easy? Vivian, you want to go, Vivian?
You don't know, no big up in myself, Vassel, man. Yeah, man, and congrats, pan. You're winning this season, you get me? And you only coach going with 2 trophies, right?
Yeah, if I'm the only coach that does what?
What going with 2 trophies?
Oh, yeah, man. The only
Yeah, man. Only coach going with 2 trophies, but yeah, man. And you don't know, man, big up yourself, man, and you don't know, man, from 2017, you respect all, man, you get me?
Yeah, man, Vivian, thanks for the support.
Yeah, man, because you struggle with the Russian team there still, you know?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man, you struggle with the team and you fight to the end, man, from there, so.
Yeah.
Man, I say, Mr. Vassel, respect all, and now you win double trophy, you know you respect all of my father, so big up yourself, man.
Yeah, man, Vivian.
Yeah, man, they want to bust up Glenn Murray still, now, but that's how you go still. You see me next time around, we catch him, because me there back a full 100, you know? Yeah, man, but that's how you go, man, but you go and go 2 trophy in your cabinet, bless up yourself.
All right, my boss, cool.
Yeah, man, happy holiday, bless up.
Yeah, man, same to you.
Yeah, man, happy new year when it come.
Yeah, man.
All right, respect Vivian.
Peter, you can say, what you want to say now?
All right, people. Let me ask Rajic. Glenn Moore, boss. Rajic. You're not Glenn Muir, you're Glenn Moore.
Oh, sorry about that, man.
Yeah.
As I say again, congratulations again, coach, for beating our arch rival, because we never did even want them win the Dacosta Cup. We did want to be only team in a Clarendon who win a trophy.
Triple crown.
All right,
yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
Congratulations again, coach.
Yeah, man. Thanks so much, man.
All right, Khaleesi. Go ahead.
Yes, so Coach Vassel, I just want to say well done. It was a great season. It's always nice when I see past students from my alma mater succeed, so it's a good look. And even if you weren't, just the kind of coach you are, it's well deserved,
Yeah, man. Thanks so much. I keep telling people, man, even my years of experience still remain student of the game, man, and humble. Humble is my pet peeve when it comes to my achievement,
Yes.
Yeah,
And I'm really looking forward to seeing you next season. Not specifically as there, but yeah, probably my.
Yeah, you have to speak with that man around the mic.
You see, and that's why they don't succeed. They fail to follow the protocol in us.
And he's from Clarendon, so everything with a rule in the favor of the parish, he will try his best.
Yeah.
All right, thank you very much, Khaleesi.
But thanks for the support.
You're welcome.
Peter, you don't want to have the last words, Peter?
No, Coach Banty, me have to say, you do very well as a coach. I just know you and I respect you a lot because you have the right attitude towards the youngster. Because just as earlier on where Shuku said, when me was saying school have no name, but you teaching the kids the right thing. When you say to the kids them, don't think about the school you play. Just like you say, drop in a Manning Cup zone where five team were passed when you say, listen, you're not playing against Charles Smith, you're playing against these 11 kids. They can do just like what you can. But don't take just name, don't name, because first time people used to lose before, as me say, Frank Brown, teacher that said, don't think about name. The question me the one for asking our coach. The team in our time and this team, which one of them you see you compare and say is the better team? The team have
played football back then, I know.
Okay, thank you. I don't want to say no more.
Listen, we will discuss that for the whole night and 2 days. Boy,
thank you. I don't want to say nothing more. You don't have to say a word more, coach. You said it because me and the man they argue about this, they might tell me about nothing. Me say you're mad. But, all right, you can't see him and the year. You can't see him and the year more. You tell him he must compare me. Tell me say the Charlie Smith team is best. Me say that team couldn't even spark against the Clarendon 77 team.
Oh God, you know? Man! Listen, man! Listen, boy! Listen, yeah, man!
You know that's
special teams, those man. I don't think you will ever see a schoolboy team reach them level there.
That's what I tell them.
Vassel and Peter, and I keep saying this to you, to Peter. You and I can say some things, Vassel too. But remember, some of the people who are debating this issue, they never see that team.
Yeah, they are not seen.
And if hold on, Peter, man, you don't have Peter. It's only word of mouth. No.
Yeah.
Can tell people you can use to create that atmosphere, you know, for us, you know. We have not seen those teams, so you can't blame them. That's why I said these are debating things that we can always continue to have that. But you can't kill him.
Yeah, man, I'm going to follow research and say, boy, I'll go back in time and watch some games and see if we can look at the level of quality.
You're going to get video on them game, the Vassel?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. How much? I've tried it.
From time to time, I see people post some clippings on some game from way back on me and say, what?
This is what I'm saying. You find a clippings here and there, but you never get a full game. Right, I think you have about 2 full games from that era, Vassel. The schoolboy team. We're not talking about general football. So that was my problem, you know. But that's fine. It's a very good debate.
You know, the problem is the kids them back then did love football. Them kids don't love football. They just play football. Children can have opportunity to play football. Those dear man did love football. That's the difference.
All right, Peter. Thank you very much.
Yeah, man,
all right,
Peter,
so, ranking.
No, I say everything to you, coach already, man. Coach.
You're closing.
Just want to tell you, you know, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, you know, all of the good stuff. And safe travel to Mexico and back and all of that, you know. And next year, coach, you know me already, you know, coach, me have high standards of you. If you say I drop a standards, coach, ranking, I'll put on the pressure. Yeah, me boss.
Yeah, man, but pressure with the pressure, no, because the pressure already exists, you know.
Coach, big up yourself, coach. Yes, man.
Sorry.
Yes.
Sorry. I can ask the coach one question. Coach, I see coach, I see the man named coach. The number 11 from Ochi, the striker, scored 26 goals, scoring at every match through the semi-final and quarter-final, and come up and they don't pick him in the Dacosta squad.
I don't think he's one of them when them select, man.
No, him not the read him name, then up select him.
Who's the 7? Is the number 7 and select?
Then select his 7.
He's 7 and the keeper.
And the keeper. And they have an next guy from reserve. That I can't believe I know.
Is he in the scholastic 11 Vassel?
Yeah, man. Well. Remember, say the scholastic thing now, it will have to do with academics, you know. So I don't know.
So Peter, we'll do some checks on that because there are some players that are selected in the scholastics and you won't see them in the RD or All Manning. Even though I think RD All Manning take president, but the scholastic thing, you know, is a sort of scholarship academic thing. So if that's where they find, you understand what I say? It gives him that both games will be played on the same day. You can't play night 2 competition.
Oh, okay. Well, my question now.
All right, so I'll double check it and let you know.
Yeah. All right. Cheers.
Alex, understand this. So Vassel Reynolds, when that game is going to be played?
I think it's the 11th.
11th.
All right.
Remember, you're going to have the scholastic rural thing down the states. The Wednesday.
The Wednesday.
The 10th, the 9th, and then the all scholastic thing in town, the 10th, and then the 11th now. You're going to have the double header, the all rural, all scholastic versus the all Manning, all scholastic, and then the all Manning. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So people, you will see the cream of the crop of our 3 days tournament.
Yeah, man. I hope you advertise the side. You advertise it on Jamaica that people can come out and watch and game him know about it.
Yeah, I was waiting on some things, you know, but we're going to get them shortly. So starting tomorrow or so.
Yeah, man.
So we'll highlight them. All right, people.
Saudichress.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, just line up 2 tickets there for me and here.
One thing I will say on this show, I'm not sure about that, you know, Rajiv. You're near still out when it comes to that, but we talk after the year.
When you know, me not hear him.
we talk after the year. Anyway, people, listen, we're at the end of the show. But before I ask Vassel is the man, he will close the show. But I'll tell you, in short order, Vassel and I will do a 30-minute live that we're going to share a journey between both of us. Right, Vass?
Yes,
so
man.
Look out for that very soon. It will be about a 30 to 45 minutes. It's a whole lot, and we're going to compact it. And I'm sure that a lot of surprises. You're going to hear some things that you'd never think about. But that's how it goes. But for now, Vassel, you close the show, boss. The man of the moment, the big coach, schoolboy football, and I hear you talking about JPL. Vassel has been a lifesaver for many JPL teams over the years. He has saved them from relegation. Unfortunately, he has not taken up a team from start. I don't know why, but he's a man with many caps. So I don't know how he'll do that because in the national setup, coaching Fortis and advising other teams, yes, coaching education, I don't see Vassel reaching that heights to take up a JPL team. No, that's just my thinking anyway. But Coach Vassel, it's your time.
Yeah, man, and I will leave it almost like that. That even during the Manning Cup, I would have gotten some offers, but I didn't want anything to distract me from achieving the goal that I would have set out at Kingston College this year. But glad to be on the show. Some really good questions, and I'm always wanting to chat football, man. Sadly, no, I'll sit down and chat football for hours, you know. So this was just me, and I'll be willing to join the program at any given time again, and just to share information. And I love the support, and I love the question, and I love the discussion. The key for me, though, I remain humble with all of this, you know. I remain humble and continue to put in the work, you know.
All right, Vassel. Again, big congratulations. Your biggest fan, your agent, Saudichress, checking out. And all the best going to Mexico. Keep us updated. I want to get you at least to give us some of what information that you're having there. But when you reach, you know, give us some little talk and we'll spread the news around because, as we are saying, under 17 is our best bet right now, leading up to the future. So I've never seen a preparation since the last under 17 and under 20 World Cup that we have reached. So I believe that this is the year that we should show that level of maturity as a country and as a fan. Give them your support, people. So Vassel, big up yourself every time, everywhere. Champion a champion.
Yeah, man. Respect.
Right,
Good night. Good night.
Big up yourself, Mr. Vassel. Enough respect.
Yeah, man.
And see you travel to Mexico, my boss.
Yeah, man. Respect.
Every time.
Respect.
All right. Blessings until then.